Hi, you're welcome to another episode of Let's Do Life with Atilola. I'm just trying to bring some drama into it. Okay, how are you doing? How have you enjoyed my series on homeschooling? If you watched it, I'm expecting you to comment on it. And if you have not watched my series on homeschooling, please go and watch it. Like, subscribe, encourage me, because I just feel like I have so much information, so much love, so much inspiration to give to ladies out there, single, married, mothers, not mothers, everybody. I just love illuminating. So once again, my name is Atilola and this is Let's Do Life, where we talk about everything about life. Today I am going to be telling you about why I only use educated nannies for my children. If you have watched my series on homeschooling, you will find out that I've talked about how I don't joke with nannies, how I don't joke with domestic help and all. And there is a reason why. I do not kid myself that I am that mother who is going to take care of her children alone from morning till night, 24/7, 365. No, I am a working class woman. Even though I have an office at home, I also have a factory, and then we manufacture, and then I am a performer. I do things, but in as much as I do a lot of things, I'm also very hands-on, and I am a very intentional parent. So the same way I am intentional about my parenting, I'm also intentional about the people that assist me in this parenting. Because what we find out is that there are a lot of people intentional about their parenting and they want all the best for their children. They want to be everything, but they are not intentional about their support system. Like they when it comes to their support system, they treat it shabbily, they do it anyhow. They just ask an agent for a nanny, and whoever comes their way, they just ask 1 or 2 questions and they pray and they take it. They don't have structures. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to teach again. Structures, the structures that I put in place before I bring in my help. But that's going to be another episode. Today I'm just going to be talking about why I only use educated nannies. I have had nannies since my first child was 3 months old, after my mother-in-law left. So I brought the child, I took care of the child alone, me and my mom, while we're out of the country. Then we brought the child, then my mother-in-law resumed and she was with me for 3 months, and then January my mother-in-law left, right? And when she left, a new nanny resumed like the next day after she left. And then for my first child, me, the nanny, and my baby went everywhere together. Like till my first child was about 2 years old, he was always with me. Like I never left the child alone with anybody. He was always with me. It was always me, the nanny, and the child everywhere. Even if I was going for performance, no matter. And when I had to leave the country, of course, I'll leave the nanny in Nigeria and I'll travel with my child and all. But it was not the same way when the second child came. By the time the second child came, I can leave the nanny, and then because my nannies before the second child came were live-out nannies, they were not living. But by the time the second child came in, I started using living nannies. All that is not, well, might be important for you, but not the gist of this conversation. The gist of this conversation is I only use educated nannies. And when you come in for interview, I tell the people, that's the agents, that I only want educated nannies. Educated nannies, educated to a minimum of high school or secondary school, as we call it here. And the truth is, sometimes they send people that are not educated, because these nannies can lie to them and say, oh, I'm educated, I know how to read and write. So educated meaning you know how to read and write, you know how to speak English, because we know that where we are right now, there's several languages. So you might know how to speak your own language and I don't understand your language. You must be able to speak English clearly, because that's the universal language, and then you must be able to read and write. So some nannies will tell the agents, or they in their mind they have tested these nannies and these nannies are educated, and they come here and then they cannot read and write. Because I've had few cases like that, I give them the book. So when they come in, after I've interviewed them and I like them, I give them a book and I tell them, right, my name is Atilola. My name is Atilola. I want to be a nanny. I promise to be very hardworking. So in situations like this, some of them have failed that standard reading and writing test, and then a lot of them have passed it because the filter has already come in from the agents. But here is why I'm always insistent on my nannies being educated, because the truth is that we cannot ignore the fact that there's a level of exposure that people that have been educated up to secondary school level or high school level have that uneducated people don't have. And I'm not in that stage or at that stage in my life where I want to be educating somebody or exposing somebody when I have children to concentrate on raising. So I'm not able to start raising somebody else's child or somebody else's adults and then raise my child at all. It just is always easier when the nanny is educated. The nanny can operate some things, you explain some things to the nanny, and then you are not struggling trying to explain the reason why this is such or this is not such. And it's always just very easy. Now, another reason why I use only educated nannies is because I homeschool, and my homeschooling process involves the nanny being in the school with them. So when the teachers come, all of them basically go to school, the school being in my house, and then we have the teachers teaching, and then the nanny also looking at what the teacher is teaching, the nanny looking at the process of the teaching, the nanny understanding what exactly is going on, the nanny understands the level of intelligence of these children, and then she's watching, oh, this is how this child learns, this is how this child learns, this child learns faster, this child learns faster, and everything. The nanny is involved in the entire homeschooling process. Many times we don't even disturb our nanny while school is in session. So if I didn't have an educated nanny, that nanny would just be there for decoration and not understand what exactly is going on, and they will not be able to use that information gathered during the homeschooling process to help my own children when she is, basically working with them. The third reason why I only use educated nannies is because there is homework involved. I will confess right here, right now, I don't do homework with my kids. Not because I'm a lazy mother, as you already can tell, I'm not a lazy mother, but because one of the things my nannies are being employed for, part of it is homework. And then in the interview process, it is mentioned, or is one of the things you also interview them on. If you are able to teach, how you love teaching, if you have ever done homework with children, if you have kids of your own, or if you have younger ones of your own, if you have done homework with your nieces, your nephews, and everything. It's part of the recruitment process, which I said I'm going to share in another YouTube video. The recruitment process of my own nannies involves homework. When my children were not of school age yet, it involved reading and writing to the children. So even though my kids then were not going to school, they were reading. So there is reading time and everything, and the nanny must be able to engage the children in reading time. If you cannot engage the children in reading time, you cannot be my nanny. So right from the first week or the second week, we can tell that this one cannot be a nanny because this one cannot engage the children in reading time. So it involves homework. Right now it involves homework. And of course you cannot do homework if you cannot translate 3 oranges, the figure, or the oranges to 3, the picture. You must be able to translate everything. Basic intelligence must be there. You understand? So it's not even the fact that you went to school, you found a way to finish from one school and then you didn't pass your work. That basic primary knowledge, basic instructions as we had when we were in primary school, elementary school, as some other people might call it, you must be able to understand that basic instruction to translate everything that the child needs to learn in the homework. If you cannot do the homework, you cannot be my nanny. And when they finish the homework, they bring the homework to me. I am the final inspector of that homework. When I inspect it, then once I mark or I give it approval, then everybody is fine. And to be honest, most of the times, I didn't used to inspect before, but there was, I think I had an episode with when I wasn't really trusting of some nannies that I said, okay, I have to be inspecting now, and I've been inspecting, and I've not ever had any issues with the work that my nannies do with the children when it comes to homework. Another reason I use educated nannies is because of the primary influence. Only if we want to kid ourselves will we not tell ourselves the truth that our nannies, or the choice of nannies that we make, you know, have a great deal of influence on our children. Let me give you an example. I have a family friend. They are a bit high class, like I'll call them upper middle class or higher class. That this my family friend, the lady in this family, or the mother in this family, told me that she does not like the way her second child eats today. And this child is about 13 years old now. She does not like the way her son eats till today because the son eats one way and he picked it up from one nanny. Now, I have noticed my children say something and then they picked it up from the nanny. My children say, it's not funny. It's not funny. They didn't pick it up from me or my husband. She said, why are you doing this? It's not funny. It's not funny. They picked it up from my nanny, because I always hear my nanny saying that to them, that why are you doing this? And maybe they are laughing, and she now say, it's not funny. It's not funny. And then my children say, it's not, like, that's what they like saying now. It's not funny. It's not funny. Imagine if my nanny is uneducated and says something that doesn't go well, and they pick it up. So let me give you another example. My nanny, that one is educated to higher institution, OND level. During the pandemic, when my child stopped going to school, she used to play what do they call it? Well, this pidgin English FM, just to keep herself this year. And they'll say, make you check your mouth for the matter, check your mouth for the matter. And then my son started saying, check your mouth for the matter. So we cannot deny that our nannies have great influences over our children. Basically, how they speak, the things they say, the words they use, the intonation, the inflections, the things they do around, what they allow to be permissible around them. Everything has a major influence on our kids, especially the younger ones, the toddlers, the ones that are not yet up to 9 years old, that are very impressionable. It is very important that we have people that have a certain level of exposure around our kids at this age, because there are some things that they will influence our children with that we cannot be able to undo. I mean, look at my family friend. The boy is 13 years old, and then basically that thing cannot be changed. It cannot be changed. It's with him for life until he gets old enough to the level where he's conscious of this thing. And the last reason is because I need the nannies to be able to read with the children. The truth is that reading is very important to me. I am trying to always develop a good reading culture with the children, not as a form of discipline or it's time to read, but something that comes naturally to them, something that they love. They will love books, they will love reading and everything. And then I need my nanny to be able to read this or transmit this value to the children. I read to them in the evening during their bedtime reading, but there's a daytime reading that is necessary, that I've built into their daily activities. They read regularly. And how will I be able to read it to them, or how will they be able to learn that reading if the nanny cannot read? So for example, not only should you be able to read, but you should be able to understand what you're reading. So if they say, for example, Miss Mary, what's the meaning of trolley? And then you cannot explain what trolley is. you cannot explain what this is. It won't work well for the values that we are trying to create. So reading is very important, and we read all the time. So it's very important to us that we are able to get somebody that can do that and do that well for the children. So these are the reasons, these are the 5 reasons why I only use Educated Nannies. I don't know what your preference is. Do you want to use Educated Nannies, or it is not a big deal to you? If it's not a big deal to you, fine. It all depends on your family values. For us, it is a big deal. And I understand that the kinds of nanny that you need for children that are the age of my own kids, and children that are older teenagers that have grown up, that have formed their identities, they are very different. So you can decide to, you know, just do and undo for older children. But for younger children, I believe, in my own opinion, that one needs to be more intentional with the kind of domestic workers that we bring around them. So that's my own view. If you want to get more wholesome content like this, please like this video, subscribe to this channel, click on the notification bell, share this video with people that you know that need to watch this video, because trust me, some people need this information. It will be saving somebody out there. Before you go, don't forget to like and subscribe. I really want you to like and subscribe to this channel, because you know no one does it like I do. Bye. If you have any questions concerning nanny, parenting, anything, life in general, please ask. I'll be very glad to answer you. Bye bye.